Hey everybody, welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is Easy to Spell, and we messed up anyway. Why it was so hard to find us? Because we have two L's. We know. All right. Jump right back into our usual thank yous and everything. Big one to Syrinscape, because Epic Games need epic sound. Thank you so much. It offers so much to the campaign. It adds a ton. You can see it if you ever go back and watch our early episodes. The first two, I think, don't have music tracks, and it's a whole new life into the campaign. So thank you so much, Syrinscape. You do a lot for us. We have merch in the link below. That's the hoodies and shirts are super soft and comfy. Go check those out. Pick them up. Support us. It's great. And along the lines of supporting us, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. It helps us. It lets us know that people are watching, that we have a community.
And here's
We
the
have people
standard
talking in our game chat. That's somebody decided to make just a terrible pun right before, and now we're talking about it in our cast chat.
Point fingers though.
So thanks for that. That's the reason for the blank. Big thing. Stay tuned until the end. We have a big announcement for everybody that we're going to be sharing. And just don't look at it, Rachel. Just don't look at the chat for a second.
I found it. It's awful. It's so bad. You guys are the worst.
Rewind to the recording, and you
We
can
got-
see the moment when she sees it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
fully
we
derailed.
stay tuned until the end. We have a big announcement. We're really excited to share with you guys. Don't fast forward. That's cheating. We might bury it somewhere in like the last 20 minutes just to make you at least watch. Got a big announcement coming up. One other thank you to Rep RPG. They've been huge support, letting David, Will, and I all play in their PvP league. They didn't let us win, but we came close. And then you can also catch me on their Monday game, playing Grizz, the Dwarven Ranger, and his companion Benedict, the Giant Badger. It's a lot of fun, but again, they've just been a huge support to our show, letting me shamelessly plug it. It's probably where you watching at home have heard of us, or you just stumbled because you also don't know how to spell Easy to Spell. In which case, we feel your pain. Yeah. I guess on that note, going back into our campaign, the last few weeks have kind of been building up to this moment between the mortal settlements of Artos versus the father, the protector figure of the Feywild, where it overlaps with the material plane here. You have fought a juvenile kraken on your way to Harlan's Landing. Upon arriving at Harlan's Landing, you have rescued scouts that have gone missing. You traveled to Falks and saved them from some omnipresent party force that was making everybody drink themselves literally into an early grave. You've combated lost family members, the forest itself. You have made friends with pixies and dryads and people. You have been exploring, found hidden wonders of ancient civilizations. All of this culminating in this meeting you've organized between the prime strengths of this land that you're on. You as a group have reconvened in Harlan's Landing, met at the Giant's Rest, after having commissioned some armor, brewed some fantastic ale, done a little bit of spying, and are now set in the tavern around a table, having just sat down to discuss the plans, what you plan to accomplish in 2 days' time when you finally have this culminating meeting. The music's still going, some other figure having taken up the loot left, one of the loots kind of stuffed into the corner for someone to play, as Finnery, the captain of the, Finnery's Wind, after doing some flirting with our sorcerer Kaya, uh, you adventurers sit to discuss your plans and needs for the upcoming days.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Well, we got
Aye.
2 days.
What's our plan of attack?
Well, I think we need to understand what's the end goal. What do we want?
I mean,
Least amount of killing possible, right?
peace would be great, but as few deaths as possible.
I'm not sure how this Dow figure is going to play into the whole peace game, as we've previously talked about.
He doesn't seem too down with peace unless he's the one on top.
Enforced, enslaved peace is not peace. There has to be some kind of a check and balance between the different forces. There can't be an over abundance of power in one location.
I'm not saying it's ideal, but it does keep people from killing each other. Again, not advocating for that. Just saying peace is peace, no matter how you keep people from killing each other.
I just wish we knew
That's fair.
what Aldenstead was doing right now.
Yeah, did we hear is the Dow gonna be showing up day after tomorrow?
Don't know. Maybe I should reach out and see if I can figure out exactly who is sieging Aldenstead. If the Dow is there, what's going on? I don't know if I can get a hold of anybody.
Well, if I was in the middle of a siege, I wouldn't have much time to talk, but how about
But I mean, in a siege, if you've got the walls up, then what are you doing on the inside but not getting the supplies that you need?
give it a shot?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and message. Let's see. Anya. Because Svetla was still on her way there, so I'm gonna message Anya, and Eva is dead. Alright, count my words out. Anya, I need to know who is sieging Aldenstead. You can reply to this message. This is Vala.
Okay.
There we go. I got it.
A few moments go by. It's been a long time since I heard from you. Creatures of earth and mud, and some people from the forest. They have not breached our walls. They have killed some. Their leader is the one that killed Eva when she met out to meet him. Stop.
Oh,
We'll toss in. We'll toss in. I do not know who they are.
okay. Hold on. I need to read message to know how many times I can actually.
Isn't it
I'm pretty
Do
sure you have to
this.
cast it every time.
What?
It's, you
I'm
have
pretty
to have the spell slots. You have to recast it each time that it goes back.
Okay. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm bad. I don't know what I am.
Sorry. And I was focused on what I was saying more so than how I was, but when her voice comes back through, it is cracked and like it sounds like somebody that is holding back tears. Just
What level is this spell?
3. Pretty sure.
Done it once. There it is. Okay. Okay, I can send 2 more.
So, what'd you say?
She said that it is people of earth and mud and from the forest, some of the fae. Whoever is leading them is the one that killed my sister, Eva. And him. I'm going to assume that this is... She just doesn't... And she doesn't know exactly who it is, but from the sounds of it, it may be... I suspect the Tao.
I mean, of earth and mud. It's the only one I know.
People of the forest. Seems like that leads to the exiles.
Yeah, I'd buy it. So do we have a game plan, a plan of attack? What's going on here?
I think we're, other than Vala, all going to be bystanders to this meeting. He wants to meet with the leaders, not us. And if Vala's claiming that throne of Aldenstead, I don't know if there's much we can say.
I guess I'm just concerned if it goes tits up. Are we all going our own way, or where do we side? Where do we sit?
My priority will be getting ledger layout.
That's fair.
I mean, my plan of action's to eventually make myself a home here. And I can tell you, I don't want to be enslaved.
Yeah, it's pretty low on my list too.
So, I mean, depending on the scenario, I mean, I'd probably side with Folks over anything. I'm not too attached to Harlan's Landing myself.
Yeah, I'm not real particular to any of the three. I think my priority is probably getting myself out. But I think I'm probably with you, Bauer. If I had to pick, if I had to find a way back over to the other continent, I'm probably in with Fox.
What about you, Vala?
I think the longer I ignore this, the worse it's going to be. I'll always have a tie to Aldenstead, and I have to do what I can to make sure that they are doing what they should. I think that Fox is probably the strongest ally that I could make as a representative of Aldenstead. And I know that I have small ties with Holland's Landing. This is difficult, but Fox and Aldenstead would probably be my priority. Ladrillai has shown far more kindness and far more willingness to and display the type of morality and ethics that I think need to exist in this land.
Wonder if Renault knows he's on such a short stick at the moment. The exiles don't like him. Father doesn't like that he's here. He's on the shit end of the stick with all y'all.
I think that's why he's
Yeah.
had a little bit of a change of heart.
I think
Maybe.
Aldenstead's. I mean, I think Aldenstead's a little more on the end of that shit stick than Renault, but not by much.
But when you got the muscle, it doesn't matter how far on the shit stick you are.
True.
Instead, doesn't have the muscle right now. They're completely preoccupied, and depending on how this siege goes, they may fall.
It might. But they have the muscle to keep themselves afloat at the moment, which is more than they got around here. Well, it sounds like we're all agreed. We got anything else to talk about? If not, I got some armor to forge.
Ah, you're going over to the smith, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the store. And over the small bottle of my brew.
You're lucky I like you, Bauer. This might not make it to her otherwise.
Yeah.
Before you leave, I didn't have a chance to mention this, but in our conversations with Mythalai, that map she had, did you guys get a look at that?
Good look at what now?
No.
The map that was on her desk. It had a lot of settlements listed and drop sites for what I can assume is supplies. There was a spot on there called Spring. It was listed to the northeast.
Do you think you
I
could
don't think
remember where that was?
I can try.
maybe I missed something. What uses a spring?
I don't know if it's an actual spring or what it means, but there's also a cipher on there.
Oh, you're thinking spring is code for something else. We're not talking water out of the ground spring.
Potentially, yeah. And she was definitely trying to keep it hidden. So I think that has something to do with their plans with the Dow and Aldenstead.
I think it would behoove us if you write down everything you remember now before you forget.
Definitely. I guess with my background of terrain, does that transfer over into maps? That's my only question.
You'll give me an intelligence check, add your proficiency bonus, which should be +3. If you have any like nature or history skill, you can make that check, and then if you're proficient, add your proficiency bonus again on top of it as if you had expertise.
Okay, so that would be 21.
41, yeah.
Or 22,
You get
sorry.
22. Yeah, you're able to pretty handily recreate the map. Looking at it, you're pretty sure that it matches almost exactly what you had seen before.
Including the cipher?
I don't know if I got a decent enough look at the cipher. I just recognize the cipher, I would say.
Yeah, I would say you recognize the cipher. The map you're able to get down almost exactly, but you don't have an eidetic memory. You just were able to line it up in your head with the terrain you had seen and fill in the details from memory.
Well,
But yeah, some of the key points like the spring that were marked. Yeah,
And some of the drop
definitely
sites.
get down. Some of the drop sites.
I think this is as best as I can get.
think this will be helpful in the long run. Hopefully it isn't because we have a battle to fight, but if we do, this would be good knowledge to have.
Well, shall we crash in for the evening?
I
Wanna get to work.
unfortunately,
Y'all can do what you want.
yeah, I was gonna say I still have a little bit of things to do here.
All right, well, guess I'll see you guys at night. And I'll finish my drink and I'll head back to our long tent.
Okay. Orelton leaves and meets up with Kalion, the village smith, who greets you warmly and immediately puts you to work pumping the bellows, which is one of the hardest, just most difficult jobs that you can have in a forge. And she says you work, and she is clearly not working on your armor right now. Give me a perception check really quick.
That is a 19.
19. You see, like, on a stand in the corner that has kind of had like something pulled over it, a completed set of plate armor that looks like it probably just needs fitted to you. Some of the bits you recognize for what she was pulling out of the large like armoire wardrobe before, that big chest. She is now just using you for grunt work to pay for it.
Getting the work out of me.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I will pump away, and at the end of our work for the night, I will take out Bauer's bottle and hand it over to her. I'm not exactly sure what this was for, but funny little tiefling guy wanted me to give this to you.
That's because you owed it to me. Set the front of the tent on fire, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
This pays for
Yeah.
itself easily 100-fold. That's I could have just stitched some more canvas on that. But thank you very much.
I won't tell him.
You pass my thanks on to him. Either way.
Will do.
No, Mama's good at date. And she pops the cork off the bottle and walks out, leaves you kind of in the tent and just starts drinking it as she walks out.
I'm just gonna, once she walks out, I'm just gonna inspect the plate armor, take a look at it.
It looks
pretty well put together.
It is a little piecemeal. Like each individual piece looks really high quality, but you can tell like there's different metals used in like the right pauldron versus the left. The chest is a different like style than the greaves. Very much just put together with leftover like works.
Work.
We can work. I'll let you describe if that brings a certain thing to mind. Yeah, I'll let you describe how that ends up looking once it's fitted and you're wearing it, if you'd like.
Okay.
But
And the does she have the eye in one of the pauldrons or not yet?
not yet.
Okay. Good. I kind of like to do that myself.
But yeah, like if you want one of the pauldrons to be way bigger than the other one, anything like that, think about that for a little bit. And
yeah. Okay. Then I will turn in for the evening as well.
Okay. Raven had already turned in. Vala, are you doing anything or just getting ready?
Just gonna sit at the table, watching what's going on and trying to take notes of ideas of what I might say and things of how situations might go.
So you're still at the Giant's Rest?
Yeah.
For you two at the Giant's Rest, then, a little bit of time goes by. It is getting late into the night, probably 11, 12 o'clock by this point. It's calmed down quite a bit. There are still a few patrons. Tarley's still kind of up and moving about. You guys are spending any time there because it was already pretty late when you had all kind of branched off on your own. Tarley kind of sitting on a stool leaning against the wall, obviously napping behind the bar. He's got the honor system bucket back out.
So Kaya, for a majority of it, when he's not busy doing something, he's just kind of messing around on the pan flute. And at some point, when it kind of dies down, gets real slow, Tarly's kind of taking a nap. Kai's gonna walk over to Vala. Hey, Vala. This is gonna sound weird. Will you take a look at my thing again?
Oh. Here or
I mean, sure. There's
where
not
everyone can
a whole
see?
lot of people in here. I mean,
All right.
I don't think anybody can read it unless you think it's a good idea to go somewhere else. I mean, we go to the.
Just looking out for you.
It's all right. I mean, I don't think anybody else can read it.
So Vala's gonna pull his shirt to the side and see
Do
what it
the
says.
spend the minute with your helm of comprehend languages.
Okay, just like
You spend the minute with your hand kind of laid not quite directly on the mark itself. The minute goes by and the words change to that same line of script. And the only thing that's changed is the number underneath, which last time you read was a 25. Now reads 16.
Go down real quick.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not gonna say anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it yet.
Go
Go
ahead and
ahead
make
and
an insight check.
Okay. That's a 15.
This is a 15. Okay. Yeah, beyond that, it's not just counting down in order. It hasn't been that many days since you last checked it, I don't believe. It's been probably close, but it has skipped a significant amount. You're not sure what the correlation is.
I think it's about time you told me the story of this.
It's changed again, hasn't it?
Yes.
What number is it this time?
If you'd like to know, I'd like to know your story.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about this. I was young when it happened.
How old?
I was still a kid. I think I was somewhere around 10. An older man came up to me and put his hand on my shoulder and
That's where that
Said
went. Sorry.
yeah, an older man. We found ourselves in a bedroom and no.
The door of the
Um,
tavern kind of blows open from just a gust of wind outside, thudding. Both of you turning to look at it. Just seems to have been the wind. Somebody walks up and shuts the door against the cold.
Anyway. He told me I'd never be able to speak his name, and a jolt of, I don't know, pain, searing cold pushed into my shoulder. And yeah.
You've never seen him again?
Only in my dreams. Don't even know his name. Hence why I have an inkling to giving people nicknames.
Is that all? Is there any other symptoms, experiences you've had?
I mean, aside from very vivid dreams and cold spot on my shoulder.
Well, I think it's counting down. I think last time we checked it was 25, and now you're at 16. I don't think that many days have passed.
I haven't the faintest idea what it means.
Fall, at your passive perception of 22, you notice coming from the back down that little hallway that leads to the storeroom where Kaya and Charlie usually spend quite a bit of time brewing. There is a flickering glow coming from underneath the doorway there into the hall. A warm red glow, almost like fire.
Fire? Is there a fireplace back where you brew?
I mean, there's the boiler back there. But you really shouldn't be able to see the fire.
There's something glowing in that room. Don't
Oh,
look.
shite. I'm going immediately. Kai's up and going back there. He wants to protect his brew.
Okay, you go and you kind of push open the door, opening in, and you see one of. So there is the broiler. Usually you load underneath it with coals, and that generally stays hot. It still would have been hot from you and Tarley having just been brewing recently. One of the larger coals seems to have rolled out and caught a portion of the floor on fire as soon as you kind of open the door. And it's not significantly large at this point, but it is starting to kind of creep around the room, kind of rolling across that varnished wood floor.
Oh shit! This isn't good. Charlie, fire!
So you hear grunting as he starts waking up. What do? Do you go to put out the fire? It's not a large.
Yeah, That's immediately. I'm working on putting out the fire, casting shape water to try to move whatever I can over onto it.
You step into the room and go and give me a perception check really quick.
I'm pretty sure it's a flat 14. Yep.
14. You step in and small fire, and you start casting shape water. It's easy to put it out. As you step into the room, though, and begin casting your spells, the door shuts behind you. Does a 18 hit your armor class?
Yep.
Let's roll it here.
Can't be good when the DM's counting.
Okay. You feel pierce into your back a thin blade. And it takes as you kind of process and you look down, and poking through your chest is a silver tip of a sword. And you kind of process for a sec. You take 71 points of mixed piercing and poison damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You fall to the ground. You fall unconscious, but as you kind of hit and look up, there is a figure with a. Okay, sorry, what?
How
Whatever you've
would
got,
you-
whatever
how-
you have.
How would you rule this? I have strength of the grave.
Okay, it allows you to roll and
The problem is it's 5 plus the damage taken.
so the DC is 5 plus the damage taken.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can pass that.
roll for a natural 20. I
No.
no.
Nice try.
You hit and you look, and there is a tall humanoid figure standing, kind of unnaturally wreathed in shadows. You just catch the glint of one eye. And as you peer, the other half of the face seems to be covered somehow as you slip into unconsciousness. Vala, from your perspective.
And I tried to
You-
follow him towards the door, but not as fast.
Yeah, and so from your perspective, literally, like, you walked in, you watched him move and start casting. He yells fire. You hear Tarley stirring in the background. The door shuts between you and Kaya for a moment. For you, obvious that somebody pushed the door shut. And you hear as water hit the coal, and then you hear a light grunt and a thud of somebody hitting the ground.
I'm gonna throw open the door.
You throw open the door and you see Kaya unconscious on the ground. A figure standing over him, holding a rapier, is again sort of weirdly sheathed in, like, shrouded in shadows.
I'm gonna shit my pants. Hold on. I'm gonna cast my channel divinity preserve life on Kaya immediately.
Okay, and that stabilizes him.
Yeah, I can restore up to 30 hit points.
Okay, so you restore to 30 hit points. How many hit points do you restore? All 30?
All 30.
Okay. David, you are conscious on the ground. Let's just, the three of you, let's roll initiative.
While that's
Right.
happening, just curious. Our tent, or I guess in that time, I would have been attuning to my dagger.
Yeah.
Would that have been triggered at any point? It says this
Read-
magic weapon warns you of danger. While the weapon is on your person, you have advantage in initiative rolls. In addition, You and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep.
I would say that wouldn't have helped because you were more than 30 feet away. Because
Okay,
you
just
went
wanted
back
to
to
double
the
check. Yeah.
yeah.
I just
That
didn't know if
may
maybe
have
I didn't know if it maybe triggered that there was danger in the area as a like maybe this figure passed by or something.
You know what? We will give just the connection to your friends and what this is. We will say that you get like a twinge, just something happened.
And is
we're
this
going to
happening while I'm bellowing away, I assume, or is this late enough in the night that I've headed back to the longhouse?
This was a little ways, a little time after you guys left, but you would still be at the forge. Yeah,
Yep.
so you're still bellowing. Okay, initiatives. Kyle? What did you get?
Natural 20. Woo!
Okay,
22.
Good,
Nice.
because I got
Vala,
a
what
4.
did you get? Okay, and mysterious figure goes on a 13. We're gonna just have Tarley goes last, just because he woke up. He's gonna spend this round surprised, effectively. Kaya.
Immediately seeing what's happened, he's gonna get up. Can I make my way to Vala?
I'm like
Without
right
taking-
behind you.
Yeah, so you're on the ground. He's standing over you, kind of next to the door, which Vala just kicked open and healed you.
So I am at the same spot as your feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna yell. Fuck. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna yell to Tarley. Tarley, run! There's someone here, and they fucking hurt. And I'm gonna grab Vala and Dimension Door.
Okay. As you dimension door, he is going to use his reaction to make a Mage Slayer attack.
Can I actually do one? Sorry, I
Yeah,
fucked
what's
up,
up?
and I
No,
meant to
you're
do
good.
something else.
What are you doing first?
Can I bonus action telekinesis to push that bitch away?
Yeah. That's
'Cause it's
he
not a
makes
spell.
he makes a saving throw, right?
Yeah, strength saving throw. First time I've used it, I've got to look for it. As a bonus action, telekinetically shove within 30 feet. Strength save of DC 16 or moved 5 feet away from me.
16. Natural 2. He is shoved 5 feet away from you. And you see, now that he's moved a little ways away, he has the rapier in one hand, and in the other hand, he's holding, familiarly, a teleportation crest, similar to the one you got from the Knight's Eye Guild. In his other hand. As he is moved, there's a moment that the shadows kind of pull behind him and thin. I'll allow you to both make a perception check.
2.
Please do okay at that. Oh hell yeah, 25.
25. So, Kaya, you don't. As he's pushed away, and as Kaya grabs you and dimension doors, you see he's looking down, but you see a bandaged half of a face. Fully bandaged.
Fucking do it.
And it appears to be Renault.
I knew it!
And you are pulled through the doorway. This dimensional doorway. And how far away do you go,
Knew it.
Kaya?
I'm going far, but I'm not going too far. I don't want to leave Tarley by himself. So yeah, I'm going we'll say like 50 feet from we'll say fuck. Yeah. Okay. 50
And
feet.
I will
from the
say
Giant's Rest.
you pushing him away. You do still want a dimension door, right? Like we had rewound a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle
And
likes to get out of
Vala,
there.
are
He
you a
just got
willing
one
creature?
shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just got one shot, so we're doing it. He's going 50 feet outside the Giant's Rest door.
Okay. 50 feet outside the Giant's Rest door. You appear in the night. Kai, you're peering out of your tent, and you see Kaya and Vala about halfway between, and not quite halfway, just outside the Giant's Rest. As you can look that direction, having been triggered by the dagger of warning, just some sort of danger in the area. You see they appear. Kaya looks hurt badly.
I'm going to say, "Oh fuck!" and I'm going to immediately grab my bow.
Okay. We'll go into the next round. Some kind of yelling inside the inn as Tarla is like, Kaya, what was that you said? Kaya! Doesn't cut off like suddenly, just we're moving it. That's as much time as he had to say anything. We're going out of initiative for a second. Let's just the three of you, what are you doing?
We'll
So
look at
you have keep it in mind, like still in turn order, so we can keep track of the timeline as things happen, but it doesn't have to be in order, in initiative order currently.
So Kaya's next moves then would probably be yelling that there's an intruder because he has no idea it's Renault. And going back towards the door of the Giant's Rest.
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab Kaya before he goes in, just like grab his arm and say, "That was Renault." Quietly, so that nobody else around can hear.
Oh fuck! Tarly, and just still going for the door because like
head in for the door. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Raven hears. Actually, and even Orelton at this point hears. We're gonna say this was like right after Kalian had left, and you like checked out the armor. Like you hear Kaya yell something about there being a murderer. Raven, are you just chasing after him, or what are you?
In relation to where I am and the forgery or whatever, wherever he's at, wherever Orelton's at, where is that? Like, is that close by, or is that on my way?
That is.
Maps up.
It's
right?
equidistant from your longhouse to the smithy to the Giant's Rest.
Almost makes a triangle, right?
Yeah, it almost
Like
makes a
the Giant's
triangle.
Rest
That's yeah.
With
Giant's
that
Rest
little
to
circle.
Kalion's is the hypotenuse.
Okay, then I'm just gonna yell. I'm just gonna yell Orelton, nothing else. Just yell his name and start taking off towards the Giant's Rest.
Okay.
I'm inspecting the armor currently, and I'm going to look around for the shield that she said was already made. And if it's around, I'm gonna grab it and run with it.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to grab the shield and
And
go.
as I clear the tent, I'm gonna bust out of the tent as quick as I can and be like, "Thanks, Kayleon. I promise I'll be back tomorrow." And probably past her with the shield.
Okay.
And can I see, like, from my direction, is Renault's, like, at Renault's home, are the lights off? Are the lights on?
The
Like,
lights
does he
are
have
off.
Candles? They're off? Okay.
Yeah. House is dark, right next to the Giant's Rest. You all pull up to the front of the door. Kai, you're the first one there. You open it. In that small hallway, standing over the now unconscious form of Tarley is this smoke-shrouded figure holding his rapier, that no longer the teleportation crest in one hand, but a dagger, fighting with two weapons. And just a growling, "You were supposed to die there." Everybody roll initiative.
My mother, I cannot. 3.
With my advantage
16.
on initiative, 25.
Nice.
15.
Okay, so Raven with 25.
Yeah.
Orelton,
16.
Kaya with 15. Paula. Okay. Raven, you're first. Kaya's standing in the doorway. You can see this kind of shrouded figure kind of over his shoulder into the main part of the Giant's Rest.
Okay. Let's see. With my as I'm sprinting there, I don't know how far away I am right now, but as soon as I'm within 90 feet and I can see the figure, I want to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Yeah. Hunter's marked.
And then what is going on? There we go. Yeah, I guess when I've expended my action, or not my action, my movement, my 40 feet of movement for this round. How far out am I, would you say?
We'll say you are able to make it. You're probably about 20 feet from the door.
20 feet from the door?
Um,
Okay.
And he's probably another 15 feet within it. And you can just kind of make him out.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and volley 2 arrows. I'll take 2 shots with my bow.
Okay. Yeah. Make 2 attacks.
27.
Hits.
Okay, I'll just roll the attack on the other one. A 15.
Hits.
Cool. So the first one...
I made a guy that can deal 71 points of damage in one round. He's not going to have a very high AC.
Yeah, first one gets 2d8
Oh.
plus my Hunter's Mark, which is a d6 if I remember right. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, that was good. 13, 18, plus 3, 21 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the second one, does every hit with like every hit I have has Hunter's Mark?
It does,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. That one's not so good. That one is 6. And that will be my turn.
Right.
And that is with the weapon of certain death, so he cannot heal until my next turn.
Okay. How many points of damage was on that last one?
6.
6. All right. For his turn, because he goes next, he is going to use his bonus action to give himself advantage on his next attack roll. And the dagger that's in his offhand, he just throws that at you, Kaya.
Okay.
That is a natural 20 to hit. I'm going to take a picture of that and put it in the chat.
Alright.
He's got it out for you, Bauer.
That's... I was thinking this guy gets a lot less dangerous after that first round of combat goes by. So this is...
Not if he's rolling 20s, though.
Not if he's rolling 20s. Okay. Or... Gene. I rolled with a different weapon, so it has different damage dice. A 71 again.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
I exactly 71, and I used the dice roller on this.
I only got one more. I
Okay.
only have one more channel of divinity, my friend.
All right.
Might be the time to use it.
Wait, can I?
And so he just throws that dagger, and then is going to run up and is standing over Kaya's unconscious form. Relton. If you use you're about equidistant, using your just movement gets you just under or just about halfway there. So if you use your action to because Mike, you use your action to attack, bonus action. Yeah. If you use your action to dash, you'll be able to make it all the way there. Otherwise,
okay. And still have a bonus action, right?
Yeah, your movement would take you about halfway there. Because Kaya's in the doorway.
Okay. I think I would actually also like to move, dash, and cast Hunter's Mark as a bonus action.
Okay. He's Hunter's marked.
Twice.
And I will like literally reach out and mark him full bore as I'm running, and not even stop. So next turn, I'm still full bore at him.
Okay.
Kaya? Need you to make a death saving throw.
I
Oh,
need you
right.
to make a death saving throw.
Okay. Vala.
Okay, question. When I do healing, can it stabilize him?
Healing
So
automatically.
I want to do Aura of Vitality, and then I can, for my bonus action, choose to have 2d6 hit points for him.
Yeah, and healing automatically. If you come above 0 hit points, you are automatically stabilized.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality, which gives me a 30-foot range of anytime I want to use my bonus action to heal, I can do it for 2d6.
Okay.
For anybody that is unfamiliar with that. And I'm now going to roll those 2d6 to see how our buddy's feeling. 7. You heal for 7.
So,
I'm alive.
My Raven.
Yeah.
I forgot. I need to have you make a wisdom saving throw as you watch Kaya fall unconscious.
Wisdom saving throw would be 20.
Fine. Okay. You're good. You feel the blood kind of pounding in your ears as you watch him fall. But otherwise, are fine. It is your turn. Unless Val's doing anything else.
No, that was action and bonus action. Oh.
Okay.
And I'm right next to him anyways, so.
Is he considered engaged? At this
No.
point? Okay.
Yes, because he is within 5 feet of me.
You're unconscious. You don't threaten him.
She just healed me for 7 hit points.
Yeah, he is. He is engaged with somebody right now.
Sick. Okay. Again, just gonna take 2 more shots with my bow.
Okay.
And these will both have, or one will have sneak attack on it. So that's a 19 to hit. And a 24 to hit.
Both
Assuming
of them
those
hit.
Okay.
Yep. You only get a sneak attack on one of those.
Right. I just need
But
to
your
double
hunter's
check.
mark does apply to both.
Okay, so just 1 there. Okay, and then sneak attack is an extra 2d6. Okay, so the first one is 9, 12, 18, What's 3? So 21 again.
Okay.
And then the
He's
next,
looking bloodied. He's looking bloodied.
and then the next one is an additional 8.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna stay back where I'm at currently, since I still have a view of him. And I'm just making sure I don't have a bonus action. Yeah, that's it.
The arrows from Raven striking into him, and as he like recoils, the arrow turns to like dust, some of it pulling into the wound and blowing away, representative of these magical arrows that he's firing. He looks, some blood trailing from his mouth, just as he's I'll be back for you, brother. And he reaches into his pocket, pulls out the crest, and cloud of smoke as he vanishes.
Let's see.
And as he disappears, Kaya, you bloodied on the ground, Orelton just finishing charging up, whipping that flail around, Raven standing in the distance, having just fired another volley of arrows, and Vala with holy energy kind of radiating from her as she kind of reaches in your direction, having just healed you.
And did I
And
see
kind of
him? I saw him disappear as well.
Yeah, just he was standing over you. You could tell that what he was trying to decide whether to continue stabbing you or escape.
Since he's hunter marked, can I look around and like see if I can find him? I don't think I would be able to, but
I'll say he is far enough away that you feel the energy from Hunter's Mark kind of dissipate.
sounds good.
My question too.
Immediately, Kai is gonna get up and like start like Tarley.
Darley is unconscious on the ground. He has a bruise across his forehead, a large circular bruise. It looks like he'd come around the corner, and as this shadowy figure had run by, just clocked him in the skull, catching him unaware, having just knocked him out, not lethally.
I will pick Bauer up off the ground if he's still down there.
Yeah, like I kind of like scrambled my way over to Tarley, like falling, like fucked up.
Yeah, like you didn't even make it to your feet. You just kind of like rolled over and like crawled over to check on Tarley.
I'm gonna use that aura of vitality to first give Kaya more things. It's
Yeah.
2d6 plus 5. Hold on. And then Tarley. So that
Tarley as
is Kaya gets 14. And Tarley gets 11.
And I'm gonna run up as well and Kai, are you alright? And I'm gonna put my hand on him and cast Cure Wounds.
Tarley sits up. Give me my fucking bowl!
6 more points.
And looks and sees you all standing along. He sits and is now like eye level with you, Kai, as you're like on your hands and knees, just kind of in front of him, having just been checking on him. You alright, lad?
No. But he's gone.
Who the fuck was that? Not many men can take me out like that.
It was fucking Renault.
No fucking way. And Charlie pulls himself to his feet and kind of crosses over and pulls this massive stone maul that you've seen from the ledge, from the mantle. Couldn't have been. Reynolds, kind of a bastard, but he's not that kind of bastard.
Somebody wearing his face.
Where did he go?
He's
He
gone.
teleported.
Fuck. Charlie kind of sits into one of the chairs near the fireplace where he'd recovered his maul. You alright, lad?
Go ahead.
Well, I saved the brew. I guess that's important.
Good. That is, as long as one of us survives, and the brew survives. Okay, luckily both of us did. Fuck, Renaud. I couldn't abide. I've got to go to his house and check on him. I'll be right back. And he stands and kind of pushes his way through the door. You watch as he... Yep.
Before he leaves, I'm healing him another 8.
Okay.
I don't know if it matters, but I was going to say as soon as I hear the name Renault, Raven was just gonna over to the
Head to the house?
Yeah.
I was actually gonna go too. So
Okay.
We're all headed there.
Y'all headed there? Kai, are you going too, or are you?
Well, he's not gonna stay alone.
Kaya gets 7
Um,
more. And then I
Yum.
think that's probably when my aura ends.
if Orel's the first one to the house, I will just drop kick the front door.
Yeah, that's also you and Raven. And Raven, what was it? You kind of like step out of the way as you hear clunk,
Yeah.
clunk, clunk, clunk,
Yeah, I was gonna sneak in and then
crash through the front. Crash through the front door. Into a dark room. I believe you both have dark vision, so you can see the unlit office area that you've been to. Kind of a side room, and then stairs going up to a loft on the second landing with the door at the top.
I'm just gonna immediately run up to the top, knowing that I'm pretty well
I'm gonna
unseen
put
right now.
I'm gonna put my hand in front of him and cast Find Traps before he does.
Okay.
Which doesn't tell me the location, it just tells me if there are traps in the area.
There are traps in the area.
Hold on, man. And then I'll start, investigating the immediate area to see if I can find any of them.
Yeah, give me an investigation or perception check.
16 plus 3 is a 19.
16 plus 3 is 19. One sec just to pull up my...
It says, I do learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap that I sense.
Okay. So you sense both a poisonous trap and then a magical trap.
Okay.
With a 20...
19.
Or sorry, with a
If it matters.
19... You are able to kind of peering around. You do find the magical trap. That's there's a book on the desk that is kind of prominently placed, specifically drawing your attention to the book itself. Paying it, you kind of, without touching the book, you kind of look, and there is a light shimmering just above the surface of the cover. That seems to be some sort of glyph of warding.
Okay.
And you believe that if the book were to be moved at all, it would trigger it.
Well, here's one of them. There's one more in the area, something poison-based.
I guess when he says that, can I take a look and see if I can find any traps or find the trap?
Yeah, go ahead and make an a perception or investigation check.
I'll do perception, which I have advantage on. 21.
21. This one. Yeah, that passes the DC on this one. You kind of go and you start going up the stairs, and on the door leading in, the doorknob, you see there's the keyhole, and then right above the keyhole, between the doorknob and the keyhole, there is a thin, like a little hole, and you realize that if you were to turn the doorknob, it would fire a poison needle into the hand of whoever was opening the door.
Found the other one. It's right here in the door. Don't open it. And this is at the top or at the bottom of the stairs?
At the top of the stairs.
Top of the
So
stairs.
it's kind of like an open room.
Well, I'm not really one for finesse. Any way we can get these taken care of?
Yeah, I can. Let me try to disarm it.
Okay, go ahead and make a check because you have thieves' tools now.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a. It is a dexterity check plus your proficiency bonus. Not a saving throw, but just a check. So D20 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency.
And for the book, I probably get the vibe that that's going to stay there unless there's some dispel magic that happens, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
17.
17 is enough to both disarm and unlock the door.
If before a door is unlocked, is this about the time when the rest of us may show up at Charlie's?
You all show up as they're looking for traps, probably as Orelton finds the book and Raven is beginning to sweep the stairs.
And then I'm going to grab Kaya's arm and say, "This is close to all I have left," and cast Cure Wounds for 1d8 plus 7, so that is 9 more.
9 more hit points. Okay.
Thank you. I'm feeling a lot better now. Let's save whatever you have left.
You all enter. At this moment, Raven unlocks the door, and as it pushes open, a smell hits you. This sweet, sickly, kind of nasty, rotting scent hits you from upstairs.
Well, that's a problem solved.
I'm gonna keep
Or a
pushing
problem gained.
in and observe the room, staying in the shadows.
There is a small slept-in cot to the side. There is a large bed, but it has a large blood stain covering it, and it has been kind of pushed to the side. On the floor itself, there seems to be kind of a large rune drawn in chalk. Kind of in the center of the room, there's a large trunk kind of pushed up against one wall that there are flies and bugs and stuff kind of crawling on. You see some like crawling out of the lock, the large keyhole of this trunk. And then there's also a large wardrobe.
So I'm gonna, just gonna go back down the stairs. It's not looking great up there. I think he's dead.
Yeah, it's not smelling great either.
Fuck. You see any other people? I'm guessing you didn't see anyone else up there, otherwise you wouldn't be so calm.
Not initially, no.
Let's go check it out. Up the stairs.
And as Vala's walking by, going to cast Dark Vision on her again.
Thanks.
Okay. Start. Tarley actually kind of stumbling along the walls, lights one of the wall sconces that holds a lantern, and takes it off and starts kind of looking around the room below. Vala, as you go up the stairs, you kind of see that same the same scene I described to Raven before.
I'm gonna see if I can just open up the chest.
Yep,
it
it
locked?
just nope, it just pops right open, and you see shoved into this chest, Renault. He looks to have been dead for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, maybe. Quickly after you had probably left for Falks, in that time frame.
So not the same dude that we've been talking.
Nope.
But like
He has been
all
dead
of our
for
interactions since the beginning of getting here.
since getting back, at least.
Getting back.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah. He could have been dead for longer than that. But looks like he's just been dead for no more than 2 weeks.
I imagine it's probably around the time that he got burned. When we came back from our
What's-
expedition.
What does his face look like?
Decaying, but
Does it look like he's
mostly
got a burn there, or
it looks weird. No, it doesn't. It looks weirdly clean. Like the rest of him is like covered in blood and stuff from his death, and other than like some bugs crawling on him and it obviously being somewhat bloated and stuff, it looks like his face was cleaned after he was killed. Like this area. Go ahead and make a just intelligence check. This is an odd bit of knowledge, maybe, but
You want all of us or just
12?
12. Let's follow that.
I mean, if
So
it's medicine, I'd do way better, but
sure, medicine with the same roll. What did you get with your medicine check?
19.
Okay, yeah, this would fall within medicine because it's similar to what you've seen when people make like death masks, when they make a plaster casting of a face, and then use that to pour like usually clay or some other material to make a casting of the face. And you actually find little pieces of plaster like in the hairline.
Why?
Somebody's been running around with Renault's face.
I thought that was a joke when Bauer said it.
No, I mean, somebody's made a death mask of Renault. I'd say that this body's about a week old.
Oh.
That puts it about where we showed back up to.
Can I go through the room and kind of do an investigation to see if I can't suss out who might have been living here? A nationality, a name, a race, anything about him?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Go through like if I can find any of their belongings or at least their bed. 17 and 3 is a dirty 20.
17 and 3, dirty 20. There is a small lockbox you find kind of tucked underneath the cot that was set up. And it looks like a camping cot, like something meant to like travel and go. Also looking around the room, you see like the wardrobe looks like it's been lived out of. Whatever this person was wearing, he was just taking Renault's clothes. the box is locked. That small box you find.
Hey, Raven, can you fix that? I'll slide the box over to him.
Sorry, a box probably. It's like a small trunk, like a little traveling case.
Oh, well then, can you
Sorry.
fix this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just like lockpicking it, I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead and make make a lockpick check.
Vala's gonna
Not so
copy
great.
down whatever those runes are in her little notebook.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Thank you. I know
That
that.
would be a 15.
15 is exact DC, beats it. It pops open, and what you find there are a couple things. There's a disguise kit. There's a poisoner's kit that appears to have been recently used. And then there is a kit that looks like it has like plaster and things like that in it. Probably it looks like it's part of what was used to actually make a casting of Ronald's face. If Vala filled you in on that information, those two are pretty easy to piece together.
Right.
I got a 14 on my Arcana check.
14 on your Arcana check. You recognize it is magic link. You're not familiar with the arcane as much as you are the divine, but it's a pretty common. Like you've seen them in some like growing up in a larger city. You would have seen at least one of these. It looks like some sort of summoning circle, either summoning or teleportation. There is also a pouch of 200 gold pieces in varied coins. It's in that small chest. I'm being told I've got sun gleaming in the face. I don't have any real way to
No,
block
you're good.
that.
No worries.
I didn't even notice until you said something.
No worries.
You should just put it right over your eyes.
You're good. No worries.
Yeah, you don't see a problem with me just sitting so the sun is directly in my eyes.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That's actually really mean spirit. Oh, there's a little bit of sun. Andrew, you should put it in your eyes.
Because fuck you, that's why.
So you said there was about
Sunshine
how
in
much
my
gold
eyes
in the chest?
Make me cry.
200 gold.
Okay. Well, definitely somebody trying to be Renault. I mean, I think we knew that, but nothing defining who it was.
I could piece that together. Why and who?
Well, I think
Like, if you're gonna try and be an assassin and impersonate somebody, why the biggest face in town?
Aya,
Power.
did he call you brother?
he did.
Why?
All right.
Oh, wait, where did our DM go?
I'm listening. I'm trying to find something to block the sun.
Okay. I was like, you should probably hear this.
Now I
Finn
got
didn't
you.
even notice.
All right. Well, I don't know how else to put this out there. So, my brother's trying to kill me.
Why? What is it with Why?
The reason I went to jail or prison, I killed somebody. Obviously, told you this. Been beating around the bush about it, but I killed my dad.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It was really awkward.
Yeah, you and Vala should be closer at this point then, right? Something.
Different reasons.
You get a death stare from Vala.
completely different reasons. My dad was no one of power. I killed him
Why?
in front of my brother. Let's just say he wasn't the greatest person, but to give you the short of it,
Your dad or your brother?
my dad. He was a very mean drunk. And one day, things went a little far. And I killed him in front of my brother. Killing him's an understatement. I literally turned his body to ash.
Purpose.
I mean, yes and no.
I haven't seen you do that yet, and we've had quite a few times where that could be helpful.
Right. Right. The intent was there, but wasn't expecting the magic to come with it. I wanted to kill him. I was done with it. It was over because the consistent beatings, the thrashings, the bruises, the yelling, it just all wore on me. And then to see my brother get treated so well. I couldn't take it anymore. One day he pushed me past my limits. I remember him beating me repeatedly and just eventually blacking out. And then, I don't know, blacking out's a bad word. Probably better like passing out. And then I remember coming to with an immense pulse. And all I could think about was how much pain he put me through, what I had to live with. And then it was over. My brother, wrong place, wrong time, I guess. Saw me do it. And me, just so... I should have been stunned, but... Well, I was. But I was...
I'm
Is that
good.
better?
Mike,
I can
are
hear
you
you. No, I can hear
intentionally?
you.
Okay.
All right, so where did you leave off? Because you're the one recording.
Your brother, wrong time, wrong place.
Wrong place, wrong time. I should have been... I should have been stunned. I should have felt something, but I just felt relieved. And I stood there for hours. Just, I don't know. I guess contemplating what had happened. And then he came with the city guard. Well, you know the rest from there. Before
And
before I went to prison, he did tell me if I ever made it out of there alive, he'd come find me and kill me. Which is why I'm here. I was hoping he wouldn't find me here.
well, what is your brother? The ability to knock you out twice with one hit. That is.
He wasn't. That's as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. He wasn't like that before.
I will say this is a pretty obvious piece to put together. Some sure you guys already know, but Kaya, you have the feeling that since you were put in prison, Isaac has spent the entire time training and getting ready to follow up on the promise he made you.
Yeah. I imagine him turning out the way he did is my fault as well. I'm sorry for pulling you into it.
I'm the same.
I had a feeling he was here. I kept pushing it off. And unfortunately, it seems like he's may have aligned himself with the Night's Eye. That crest he had, how he teleported. It's the same thing I have here. And I pull out from my bag the teleportation crest that we got earlier. I debated on following him. But
I think that this is a battle that you can make today.
he's not going to stop.
Not to mention, judging by the condition of real Renault here, it was your brother we told about the meeting with the Fae day after tomorrow, right?
So now we have no one to represent Harlan's Landing.
And
That's
we
true, but
also... Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that's true, but if I was trying to kill my brother, I'd do it when things are in an uproar and people are shouting and screaming, and just saying, might have lost the element of surprise at this point, but it's one spot we don't want this problem coming back to bite us in the ass.
No. They won't.
Speaking
bite
of
you in
problems
the
we didn't know
ass.
were going to bite us in the ass, you got anything else you want to divulge? Been playing it pretty close to the chest with big old dire wolves and black handprints on your chest. What else is coming out of the woodwork, Satisbar?
Wish I
Wait
knew
to see
more,
if he
but
says it.
I want to give David a second to think here, Kaya.
Yep.
And it's Raven, as you have kind of been listening to this and given your character kind of sorting through this chest of contents, the useless stuff. There you find one bottle that does not seem to fit with either the plaster set, the disguise kit, or the poisoner's
Yep.
kit. It's a small glass vial with a crystal stopper in it. You pull that out. It's crystal or glass, but it's like opaque. You can't quite see through it. It's not clear. It looks like it's been like, what is it? Sandblasting when you make it so it looks like frosted. It's like frosted glass.
Yeah.
So you can't quite see through it. That's you can't tell what's inside of it. The stopper sealing it.
Okay.
Yes, is Tarly still downstairs?
Do you hear some rummaging around? But yes, he's still gone through everything downstairs. He trusts that you guys upstairs have a handle on everything that's going on.
Don't move the book on the desk, Tarly.
That's yeah. Huh! Good catch. Almost touched it. What's it do?
Lot of hurt. That's all I know.
I don't want any more of that tonight. I will leave that alone. Thanks for the heads up.
You got it.
Glad we
Well.
checked in on him.
I guess I don't want you guys to get caught up in any more of my mess, so here it is.
We've all been caught up in this mess together.
Well,
And as Bauer's starting to go through this, I'm gonna go to the cot and take, if there's a pillowcase, otherwise I'll just tear off a shred of the sheet. And I will begin tearing it up and putting it into the holes in the censer, and basically starting to light a fire inside the censer as I cast augury as a ritual spell.
What's that?
Find out in a second.
Oh.
so my parents, my mom got sick when she was pregnant with my brother and I.
You're twins.
You could say that. My father, desperate to save my mom and us. Well, at the time, he didn't know it wasn't us, but he told us his story of how he went to some mystic, some old man who was said to cure incurable diseases, and well, long story short, he made a deal with that guy. And sure enough, my mom was saved, and what do you know? 2 beautiful baby boys, except one of them wasn't like the other. One was human, the other a tiefling.
That changes the story quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I honestly, I didn't think it mattered. Where'd it matter where I came from? What happened? I was here to start over. Seems like the demons of my past have found me here. So no more surprises. And
Like we're all having a
about-
hard time running from him, huh?
Seems like it.
It's almost like turning and facing him is the better option.
Well, I don't think I have much of a choice anymore.
Common thread, I guess.
We lived happy for about 10 years. Exactly 10 years. On my 10th birthday, that mystic, the old man, showed up. He wanted to take my mom, or rather, he wanted to take me. And my mom spoke up, and long story short, she bargained with him to take her. But before he left, he placed his hand on my chest, my shoulder, and whispered I'd never be able to speak his name. And a surge of black mist float into me. And, well, that's where the handprint came from. That's it. Piece everything else together, and that's me. So yeah, anyway, we should probably go talk to Commander Grayson, and I imagine he's probably going to be taking up governor.
And
Point.
Grayson? Entirely.
I don't imagine they promote barkeeps to governors real often.
Wasn't he second in command?
Grayson
Great
was.
question, was he? Thought it was
I thought
Grayson.
Grayson was.
Grayson is the like military scout commander. I've lived here for a while. You had some time you spent just living here, so we'll say you picked up that in case of Renault's death, it was trusted to the members of the settlement to elect their next leader.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm sure Commander Grayson will know how to start that process anyway.
Well, one more thing before we go, and I'll finish lighting the fire in the censer, and I'll just hold it up to a wall, and you can see like the light and the shadows cast on the wall, and they flicker and move back and forth. And I will say, just to no one in particular, what are the consequences of us leaving? You said it was Isaac, right? Bauer?
Yes, Isaac is my brother.
What are the consequences of us leaving Isaac alone? And the flames, like, kind of Hunchback of Notre Dame, how like Esmeralda appears in the flames and it like starts to tell a story, and
very shadow, like that shadow box theater, as the wisps of smoke kind of comes up and casts a shadow from the light of the censer itself. And those of you watching, it almost seems as though like the metal is shifting on the orb of the censer itself, like rapidly, and it plays out this scene where you watch a figure appear in a burst of smoke, like hunched, clearly injured, and you see like the lighting is shifting and like an orb passing over, like showing rapid passing of time. And as time goes, the figure stands up strong and begins walking, and then comes, you see 5 figures, and the figure like lunges forward at them, expands, and his kind of consumes the other figures and recedes. And then you watch it like sit and kneel, and then the light kind of recedes, and it just becomes kind of that normal, just swirling from the ovular shapes of the circles, just kind of shimmering, waiting for your next question. Because you get 3 questions with Augury?
It doesn't
just
say
one?
it. Otherworldly entity of a specific course of action. It explains the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take. Yep.
Yep. So with the course of action of just leaving Isaac alone indefinitely, will eventually come back.
You see five figures? They get consumed?
Including him. 4 figures get
Okay.
consumed.
Well, there you have that. And as I put the sensor down, it just burns out, and there's no light coming from it anymore.
That was... Ladrillai has some great gifts.
I'm sure she does. That. Oh, you're talking about the sensor. No, that's List. That's not the sensor.
Wasn't the sensor what Ladrillai gave you?
Yeah. And I'll hold up the ball, and like you can see the The eyes.
Didn't Liz try to kill you?
Maybe we talk about it another time, but no, she didn't.
There's too many lines tonight.
Am I the only
Yeah,
one that
let's
came
take
from a
care of-
loving home?
I never said mine wasn't loving.
Well, I mean,
I never said mine wasn't either, so.
mine was loving until I turned 10.
I'm just gonna turn around and walk back down the stairs.
Yeah. Did you take that?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll take the
you
bottle. With
take
me.
all the stuff with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't. I'll leave the
Oh.
disguise kit. Feel the need for
And
it.
we'll say the plaster kit is on top of the disguise kit. That's you need a very specific skill to use that. Do you take the poisoner's kit?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Poisoner's kit and
Um,
just a bottle. Do you
If
try to
Kaya
investigate
sees-
the bottle any further?
Not yet.
Okay.
if Kaya
On our
sees
way
that
out-
disguise kit left, he's gonna snag it.
Okay. Yeah. You have a disguise kit.
And on our way out, I'd like to, without moving the trapped book, just kind of like peruse over Renault's desk to see if there was, like, do these just look like Renault's documents, or was there anything
Yeah,
nefarious going on here with
I'll
Isaac?
say, based on your previous investigation check, it looks like he was like legitimately kind of upholding the mantle of the office, like keeping like notes are up to date. Like he's thorough in his replacement of Renault.
That's dedication.
I'd like to check out that closet that Kaya tried to look into originally when we came into Reynolds' building, and he just saw it as like a storage closet.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
go. You open it up. It is just kind of a storage room. There's some boxes and stuff. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Nope. 12.
Oh, and perception is the other one.
Perception is the other one?
I
'Cause
need
I
an
can roll
investigation
advantage
and a
with that.
perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a separate check. There's different
Gotcha.
things that.
Is it cocked? Yes, damn it. That was a natural 20. 16.
16. You do find in one corner a small, like hidden trapdoor that was under one. There's a box kind of deliberately put.
Hey, we've got a trap door in here.
More and more.
You're gonna come over and is there a trap on it?
I'm not sure.
I
Roland,
don't
you want
think
to?
so. I would have got it when we walked in the room or walked in the house.
Okay. And I'll just move the box and. Do we want to check it out?
Kind of have to at this
Um,
point.
We might not get another chance.
I'll just see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked. It seems like it was defended just by being hidden. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just open it up, and I'm assuming it's like a ladder down.
Yep, there is. It is like a dug hole. It doesn't seem to be something that was originally built into the building. It is just dug and it goes a little ways down. Give me a. Sorry, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 15.
Okay. 15. You see about 5 feet down, as you kind of step onto the ladder and the ladder moves a little bit, there's like a ripple.
I think this is got water down here or something.
Vol's gonna look down. Do I still have dark vision?
Yeah, it's 8 hours.
You do.
Cool. With
do you
my
give-
22 of passive perception, do I see anything better?
Yeah, it being pointed out, the ripple, it's not water. Like, it seems almost like rubbery. It's gelatinous.
Gelatinous cube.
When you see with your dark vision and you being able to pay attention, like, the tube goes down a little bit further, but then just ends. There doesn't seem to be a room at all. This seems to be a dug pit. The ladder goes down, and this gross semi-solid liquid seems to fill like the bottom 8 feet or so.
Is this a
I'll
septic
grab
tank?
No, it is not a septic tank.
Okay, just making sure.
I'll grab like
In-house. In-house septic, yeah.
a copper piece. And I'm gonna drop it down and see what happens when it hits the
Hey.
surface.
6, and then slowly sinks into it. And you watch as it slowly corrodes and breaks down. And
I'm gonna climb back up the ladder.
okay,
It's not
An
heavy.
acid then? Is this an acid?
this is what you would all be relatively familiar with from stories and stuff. It seems as though there was a small pit dug, and
Body
a
dispel.
ladder placed, and then a gelatinous cube placed at the bottom, so that anybody trying to like snoop through this person's house and climbing down into the secret room they found would be attacked by a gelatinous cube.
Glad you didn't climb all the way down.
Yeah.
Huh. Gotta be something good down there then, right?
I don't think it's down there. I think it's in the closet.
Do you think this is
I say, from your looking around, you think you found all items of importance. What you found was a trap. I'll just
Gotcha.
nip this one in the
I was
bud.
gonna say,
Yeah.
like,
You climb
a red
down.
herring. kinda-
It's
What I figured.
yeah, it's a space big enough for a gelatinous cube to fill, and a ladder down into the gelatinous cube. That's You think that the reason the
Okay.
body wasn't tossed in there is because the gelatinous cube can't dissolve the skeletons, and anybody looking down would have seen a full skeleton.
But the body in the chest is fine.
Yeah, because nobody's ever going to make it up there. Yeah.
I'll just shut the trap door, slide the box back over.
Well,
Alright.
let's make all powers to be all powers to be.
So I guess we,
And speak with Todd and Greystone. Greystone.
Grayson.
Grayson.
Grace.
Making it down. Tarla is like leaning against the desk, being careful not to touch the book. Well, on the eve of what's to come, losing, I don't want to call him Renault, pseudo Renault. Not sure who to send either. Grayson, maybe old Ben. Gonna be a whole process. You all look good for the evening. Need anything? Because
Sleep.
we've got a full day to deal with the fallout from this before the meeting. You know, you've got a real splitting headache coming on.
I'm
So,
gonna reach over and cast Cure Wounds and say, Tali, anything we can do to help?
we'll be fine.
And I will cure him for 10.
Thank you. Thank you, Vola. I appreciate it. But it's really just time to get to bed. It's late and there's not too much more we can do about this.
Agreed.
Get thee some rest. That's what I'm gonna do. He picks up half his maul to the shoulder, and he kind of claps Kai on the shoulder. Thanks for not letting my inn catch fire. He turns and walks out and strides back towards the Giant's Rest.
And I'm gonna head directly for the longhouse.
Yep, same.
Okay.
Same.
Go to bed.
Anything y'all are doing through the night? Going to sleep?
Kai's not going to sleep.
Me too.
You are getting your rest in, I should say, whether that be sleeping or something else. But is there anything you wanted to do during the morning? Or during the night? Or do we just want to skip to morning?
Skip.
I don't think I had anything.
Okay. We skip to morning. We're in town. We're not in the forest. We're in town. Bad DJ. Bad DJ.
All right.
Um,
Long rest.
Get your long rest in. The next day, we won't go into like the details of how the town's going to elect. The four of you, for this long, let's take just a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. Everybody can recoup themselves, and I'll figure out a democracy, and we'll get going. All right,
Excuse me,
we'll
let
be
me invent government in 5 minutes.
back. Yeah, we'll see you all soon.
Okay, bye.
Hey,
So
welcome
now-
back, everybody. We're all peed and ready to go. Mike's fucking talking over my intro. Damn it. Gonna send
Can't take 'em
assassins
anywhere.
after you next. But you all awaken after a physically, if not necessarily emotionally or mentally, refreshing night. Full rest. You're all back at full hit points. All that. We will, for the sake of the day and where we're leading up to the meeting with Father, any busy work you guys have to do, I will kind of fast forward through. I know O'Relton's got his full plate armor to get fitted for, so you get to go just do that. You'll have that. Is there anything else the rest of you would like to go and accomplish? And would you like to participate in the vote for the next leader of Harlan's Landing?
Not me.
No.
Okay.
Not either.
Yes. There are 3 primary candidates for El Presidente, the governor. Old Ben, the healer. Commander Grayson, the military leader, and commander of the scouting regiment, and Tarley,
Okay, I take it
entrepreneur
back. I am voting.
and owner of the Giants Rest. Okay, so Kai is voting for Tarley. The rest of you are
Well-
still.
Before I vote, I'm going to actually ask Tarley if he actually wants that responsibility.
You guys have a brief conversation. He thinks about it, and he goes in. And if it's what the people want, he'll do it. It's not a position he would ever seek for himself. But he does care for the people of Harlan's Landing, and if they choose him to lead them, he will do it.
And I'll leave it up to the people.
Rolling a d100 on a 1 through a 33. Old Ben on a 34 through a 66. That goes to Commander Grayson. And actually, no, we're going to do 20 to 20, 10 to 20, or 1 to 20, sorry. Yes, Relton.
You should, not to screw with your DMing, but you should just roll your D100 3 times, one for each candidate, and whoever comes up with the highest number has the
Oh.
most votes.
Okay.
Like the
Ah,
number is the votes.
Okay.
smart.
If a number doesn't come up over 60 for all 3 of them, I'm going to roll a different dice, and I'll tell you what happens after that. First number for old Ben, 32.
Oh,
For Commander Grayson, 31.
Oh, it's close.
For Tarley,
33.
36.
Oh my
Man, so none of them over
It's
60.
neck and neck.
So I'm rolling a
Picking that
different
left turn.
die, and I need. Let's do. David, pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Mike, pick a different number.
4.
Paula?
6.
Orelton?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go 5, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then we're gonna go.
Here, easy to spell. We do politics correctly.
Yeah.
This is how we secretly count ballot. Too soon? Too soon.
Let's go. Okay. I rolled a 6.
Yay!
Nice.
What does that mean?
Weirdly, do you all remember whose number was 6?
Me.
Paulus.
In a strange turn of events, Vala,
Oh no.
for her work spent helping in the healer's tent and just the genuine compassion she shows for the people of Harlan's Landing, gets the popular vote and is elected the governess of Harlan's Landing.
Well, there's your.
And you-
I guess now
Thank
I
you.
know how.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Okay.
Think you can pull off both of them?
No. I don't think I can pull off one of them.
Well, time will tell.
Seems that destiny's chosen you.
Time and again.
Relton just has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face.
The runner-up, surprisingly, was Raven.
Of course.
Because Raven's so sweet.
I just rolled the dice
Who
again.
was?
And again, talking to some people, a lot of people cast votes for you because the amount of time you spent, like when you first showed up, y'all have made some waves initially. Like you've rescued scouts, and a lot of there are a few people that you saved from the ship that came here. They all had votes. Tarley obviously voted for somebody. The hunters. And there are a lot of people that you guys have either just helped and impacted. Relton, you got a few votes from people that you just helped with hard labor. Like you showed up and you are, as a group, are becoming heroes amongst these people. Over the last month or so, some of the hardest times have struck the settlement, and y'all have helped them survive it. Anything else you guys want to do? Is that... I will say, for sake of your adventuring, unless you choose to retire Vala and just keep her as the governess of Harlan's Landing, you do have a perfect steward in the form of young Corin, the cartographer and bookkeeper, who can probably handle a lot of the day-to-day affairs for you. So we won't end the campaign for Vala with her having to just take care of a bunch of people. Parley and Grayson will obviously assist him. But yeah, Will.
I mean, she could still technically decline, right? If she was just completely against it. People
could.
elect you, and you're just like, nah.
I just assumed you would want to hold on to it for the next day or so.
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe for a while. Stop this deforestation thing going on.
Yeah, and that was honest to
I gotta save
God
Pecan.
the dice choosing Vala. So I didn't roll above a 40, let alone a 60. Okay. Orelton gets his plate armor.
Yeah, and I will spend a small portion of the day, inscribing the lidless eye.
Perfect. And that's just on the pauldron.
Oh,
And
and
he-
yeah, that on the shield arm side, the pauldron is very like small and smooth, and on the non-shield arm side, they have those big old like the neck guards that stick up on the one side. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
pauldron is like enormous. Everything else is pretty like standard fare, like you said. It's piecemeal. It has like the V's that come up the middle that are meant to deflect arrows away from hitting your neck, and yeah, it's piecemeal, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, it is a functioning set of full plate armor. Kaya, are you doing anything?
He's. I mean, he already went and talked to Tarley. No.
And Raven, doing anything? Going over. Okay. And just double check that bottle you found. Leave it alone.
Yep, for now.
Okay. Y'all get through the day. There's a small celebratory feast thrown in the new. Do you have a preferred title? Governess, mayor? I swap between them. Do you want to be El Presidente?
Supreme ruler.
I mean, what was Orelton called?
You mean Renault?
An asshole.
Renault was the governor.
Jerk.
I guess I mean, if I'm taking his spot, so governess.
Okay. Governess Vala. Small feast is thrown in your honor. The next night goes by without incident. Y'all rest. And this morning, the morning you're set out to meet with the father of the forest. You hear in the center of town, and Ladderlie, holding her spell book, well dressed, with an aide with her, appears in the middle of town, kind of in mid morning. Right. Where might I find Renault? That you all see, like, I will say, leave it to the Orelton. It's you're kind of crossing through town, having woken up, get your new armor on, as Ladderlie like pops into, and she looks at you and goes, Orelton, good to see you again. Where might I find Renault?
Imagine he's probably still in his chambers, but there's the whole lack of life thing you're gonna have to deal with. You're probably gonna want to talk to Vala instead.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, you have a way of bandying words about Renault is dead.
Yeah. Dead, impersonated by Kaya's brother for a while. It's a whole story. Vala can probably fill you in a little bit better than I can.
Right, and where might I find her?
That's a great question. Maybe our longhouse. Maybe I don't know where Vala is currently. Do I?
Probably
Where's
with
Vala?
Grayson. With Grayson making sure that I understand what all of our plan is, just in case something happens. All that Renault
Sorry.
had been.
Okay, so
I
you
saw
point
her
her.
moseying around with Grayson a while back, so that way.
Yeah, you still point her towards Renault's place, his office, going through all the paperwork and things like that. While you've been poring over this with Grayson all morning, Ladderly walks in. He goes, "Right, Vala, I was told to speak with you. What is that smell?"
So we haven't been able to get it out yet. Renault, unfortunately, is that smell.
I heard that he had passed away. Right. That's just going to take a moment. One moment. And she opens her spell book and she just casts a small cantrip and just like a Febreze spray of just like this floral scent
Flowers.
kind of like half covers. It's that it like it doesn't fully cover, but it makes it a little bit better. Right. It was just making it difficult to think. We have to plan for what to do today. Am I to take it you're the next leader of Harlan's Landing, then?
As of currently, yes.
Well,
I will also be representing Oldenstead at our meeting.
well, that is also a change of do they know that you're representing them?
Yes.
Hey. In that case, I do prefer to share this information with you than I did with Reynolds or whoever the Oldenstead would have sent. I have a note here. A note. A note. I'm going to switch back and forth too much. Okay. Endon, if you would, and her aide, a young elven man, bows deeply to you, and he places a small chest on the desk in front of you, opening it up, and you see a series of 3 crystals that are all, one is like bright green, the other 2 are a deep purple. And she goes, "This is what we've been researching in Folks. The ambient magics in the air in this land are deeply connected to the ley lines of the world and much easier to harness. These are effectively magical energy sources that we are able to condense the magics and create these." And she holds one up. We've been calling them, I believe that it's a battery. And it has a very interesting property. We found that it can be used to power magical machinations and tools, but if used as a focus in the casting of a spell that would normally require concentration. And she holds it up and she opens her spell book. And let me pull up her spells and let's see a fun one. This
It sounds so cool. Okay, sorry.
spells. She casts Dancing Lights, just a cantrip. One that you're familiar with, you've seen in a series, let's just say 4 magical orbs appear, one in each corner of the room. And the gem goes, kind of flares with light for a moment and then kind of resumes, and she sets the crystal down. And then he goes, now that that's been done, and then she goes, and she casts another spell, and she creates a fog cloud centered on her, filling the room with fog. And you see the 4 lights are still maintained, and you realize that she is, as a spellcaster yourself, you recognize that she is concentrating on more than one spell.
Hmm.
And she releases fog cloud, and after a moment it kind of disperses, and the lights are still there. And she goes, as long as the gem contains enough magical energy to sustain the spell, the more complex the spell, the less time it will last. It can be maintained indefinitely or until the gem is broken or runs out of energy. We have begun using this similar to this. These lights can be now moved by whoever is holding the gem, as if they were the one casting the spell. And as a cantrip, the gem restores energy at a faster rate than it consumes it. So, unless dispelled, these lights will never go out. We're using this. We're we have found that they replenish slower back at home, but still at a rate that these lights will still last indefinitely. Longer spells have reduced durations, but here, yes, we've been sending these home, and they're used to light homes and public houses. We've found uses with different spells to create electrical energy and propulsion. Given that these crystals cannot be created back home, there's nowhere else we've found with the ambient magic enough to get the initial concentration of magics to form these. I have received permission to share this information with you and the settlements here, knowing that information will be passed back to the kingdoms that we are competing with. But it's worth more to let you know and to be allowed to stay than it would be to be forced to abandon this place by a powerful enemy.
How do these crystals work? The magic that they pull, is this depleting from a resource of magic, or is this...
Not any more than breathing reduces the amount of air available to the world.
Right.
This is ambient, naturally created. It's, I believe, the proximity of the Feywilds, where a much more dangerous but much more magical place allows us to create these. And I believe this will suffice.
This is... absolutely changes the game, doesn't it?
It does. And again, I have to thank you that I've been operating as one of the lead researchers on this project. If you all had not saved me, one, I might not have been able to negotiate to make it worth sharing this information. And B, that's a lot of this may have been lost. I'm still teaching others how to do it to the extent that I'm able to, but currently I'm the only one able to create these en masse. This advantage is also why we're willing to share the information. It will take you all a while to catch up.
Would be willing to teach us how to produce these as well?
Yes, I will. It's a simple incantation. Any of the wizard of sufficiently advanced knowledge would be able to.
And what's the catch? If I may be blunt.
That's... You cannot upset the balance with the father and the keepers of this forest. We can't survive a full onslaught for any long duration of time. You saw us almost collapse just from outside influence, combating between the dangers of this world and the one we come from. There's just too much. If we can live here in peace and only fight against each other, then we can still thrive. And hopefully, especially if you're leading 2 settlements now, we can exist in peace with each other as well. We can leave the trials and combat back where we come from. This is what many of us came to escape from anyway.
I am astounded that this has worked out so well. I'm waiting for the other foot to drop.
Hopefully one doesn't have to. Shall we then? Are your companions joining us?
Yes,
I was
I believe
hoping
they will be.
I was hoping to enlist your companions as guards in this.
I had planned to have them accompany us as well.
Right.
As we go, I'm going to tell her about the not Jin, the Dao,
Wow.
The Dao. Okay.
and what's going on with that.
Okay. You fill her in. We'll
Yeah.
proceed.
Yeah.
Before leaving to meet with the father, is there anything else the rest of you wish to do?
Was that brew that Bauer made ready?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We can check on it. It's been 2 days. Yeah, it'll take a little bit longer to fully develop. It takes a little while though.
Okay. I didn't have anything else.
Now that Ladrilla is here, somebody I trust, I just want to.
Ow!
I want to bring
come on, we
the.
did
I
kill
get
our dads.
I want to take the glass bottle to her,
Mhm.
knowing that she has knowledge of the arcane, and ask her if she can tell me what it is, help identify it.
She takes it and looks, and she begins tracing in the air, kind of in front of her, holding her spell book, having set the bottle on a table in front of her, and there's a flash. Interesting. She looks at you. Where did you find this?
It was in the chest that Renault was stuffed into.
This is interesting magic. And it's not complete. I recommend before we leave, you gather your companions and open it. This is powerful.
Okay.
It'll be quite a surprise.
I'll get right on that. Would you like to be present?
I'll be past. Just be careful, Raven. This might be the other shoe that Paula was speaking of. Just careful on what you say. And she kind of turns and goes back to speak with the Endon, her assistant.
Okay.
That was cryptic.
All right, I'll go gather everybody up. So I don't know if you guys saw, I found this bottle when we were going through Renault's stuff. I didn't know what to do with it, but after speaking with Ladrilla, she says we should open it.
Well, what is
Did
it?
she say what it was?
She said it's powerful and to be careful with it, but we could benefit from it.
You mind if I look at it?
Yeah, I'll hand it over. And
Oh,
while he's going through it, I'll just. She did mention weirdly, like, be careful what you say around it. So I don't know what that means, but I trust her.
okay. I'll just see if I can't, like an Arcana check or something to determine what exactly it is.
Make an Arcana check at disadvantage. The reason being, and the why she was saying is interesting, is that whatever it is seems to be damaged. The smoked glass, it seems to have been something done to it that isn't part of the original design.
Disadvantage is a 10. which I assume doesn't get me much.
Yeah, you're not sure. There is something in it, but like shaking it, like there's no. You can see something like kind of moving on the other side of the glass, but like there's no liquid. There doesn't seem to be like anything solid in it. There's
Yeah, I don't know, and I will just cast Identify instead.
fuck. This is a modified Ifriti bottle. Through casting Identify, you learned that this magical knowledge kind of infuses your brain, and I was trying not to give this to you. It is
Sorry.
bound within is a shackled Ifriti, whose powers are reduced. He only has he cannot turn upon who opens the bottle, and his wish granting ability is somewhat limited. In what way, you're not sure, because that's more the nature of the Ifriti, not the bottle. But this contains a shackle Ifriti.
Okay. I will give it back to Raven. Say, yeah, make sure you phrase that question properly.
What is it? She didn't really elaborate.
It isn't a Freedy bottle, if you've ever heard of that. You know,
Oh.
wishes, etc.
Oh. Well, I'm glad I didn't just open that. Is there anything that we want to hope for, or set in motion for
Or
ourselves?
imprison the Tao?
Might be a steep ask. I was going to say the location of Isaac might be helpful.
Nobody
I mean-
wants peace between the worlds.
I feel like
I
I'd never.
think that you remember the issue we ran into with the Tao? There will be peace, but it would cost.
And if imprisoning the Tao is a steep ask, I feel like peace between everybody on this peninsula is even steeper.
I don't know if I can handle that responsibility.
Question of a wish?
I don't know what I'm doing.
If there is any one of us that has a more pure heart, it's you. We can workshop the wish.
Time out. Do we know how much time we have until we're supposed to meet with Father?
Couple
Good
hours.
question.
That's it.
I don't even know where to start. All I want is safety for all of you.
In the center of town, you all hear a kind of a rip and a pop. And a big green doorway portal rips open. And two tremendous ironwood ents walk out carrying a table and set the table down, and then walk and kind of stride on either side of the portal. And a smaller figure, normal size, carrying a chair, walks out and... Sorry, I realize we didn't decide where it was we'd be meeting, so... He knocks on the chair twice. Knock, knock! And sits down, and the father sits down, leans back, and puts his feet on the chair. He goes, I still don't appreciate that you made me carry my own chair. Is here fine?
I guess that's our cue.
The other members of the town and the city are just stunned as these two towering figures are just standing there in this other. Ladderlight from another room. What the shit? She walks and she's still carrying her spellbook. So you must be the father. I was under the impression we were going to meet you in the forest. Right. Everybody assumes that. Thought I'd get a taste for the big city. He looks at or say just one of the kids, a small dwarven child. He goes, go get me some wine. Looks up at their mom. She's like, go get him some wine. And he kind of goes over towards the inn. Everybody's just kind of keeping a distance now. Ladderline
I'm
gestures.
gonna mention as he goes over, Kaya's brew. To the kid.
Okay. He goes to the giant's rest. Ladderline says something to Endon, who runs inside and comes out carrying a chair, which he sets at the one side of the table, and Ladderline sits.
I will carry a chair out and set it in front of the table and gesture to Vala.
Thank you.
I'll bring one for Ladrillai.
Endon already grabbed one for Ladderline.
Ladrillai already got one. Before we get started, there may be another individual headed to where did we tell
Mythalai. She said
she
she said she would meet you at Harlan's Landing, which
Okay.
we're the father actually was looking. He goes, 1, 2. We're missing, I believe, representatives of both the exiles and Aldenstead. I'm assuming you're representing Harlan's Landing then.
And Oldenstead.
Now that's interesting. Right. He looks and he goes, she should be, and then coming through the gates at this moment, Mythalai comes with a retainer of her own. Elrond, actually, who nods to all of you, seeing, and he goes and picks up like a stool from in front of one of the hunters' tents and brings that. Mythalai sits. We're all here. Where's Renault, Vala? And she looks at you.
Oh no, did we just lose her?
I think
Like
we
She
did.
froze.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you see me? Can you
well, we
see
can't
me?
see.
Can hear-
We can hear you now. We can
Okay,
hear
there we
you.
go.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
There.
Okay,
I was
okay,
about to pretend to be you for a second.
Ooh, okay, perfect. Okay. She says, well, you're looking at the new Renault.
Well, this is going to be much easier. All of a sudden, I don't know what to negotiate for.
So is this, are we gonna have this conversation right now? Oh.
We're,
Okay.
right. So, as as your the people in power, as it seems, where's that wine? And at this point, Tarley comes holding a dwarven child by the scruff of their jacket, and they're just kind of like dangling, and he's holding a small cask in one hand with a couple glasses balanced on it. He's, right, somebody said they needed brew, and you weren't lying then. Good. He sets him down. He just walks over, just puts the cask on the table. Goes, governess, I'll be in the inn if you need me. And he just leaves. No
Fully
interest.
unfazed.
No interest in what's going on.
Oh, I love it.
So, do you think you can come to an accord to live by the laws of this land? Stop taking what is not yours and stop taking more than you need.
Yes.
That. Yes?
Yes.
That. He looks at Ladderlie, and Ladderlie goes, yes. Looks at Mythalai, and
Ah, again.
he looks at Mythalai and goes, I don't really know why you're here. You don't speak for the Tao. I believe he's currently setting. Follow, you seem as though somebody cast hold person on you. Never mind. Your other settlement is currently under attack. The Tao, as I've mentioned before, serves me. He lives in accordance to the laws I set for this land. He's a champion of mine. Over the last, couple thousand years of being trapped, when he got released, he has kind of a set mentality right now. He wants to dominate all of you, force you into subservience. I'm sure Mythalai can explain it better than I can. Pretty much take your free will from you and force you to worship him and me through him. I'm not really all about that. Just, I want you to stop cutting down trees and digging into the earth. We all know what happens when people dig too greedily and too deep now, don't we? Creatures of fire and brimstone, fuck them up when I send them. That's what happens. So you know. So here's my proposal. I think the Tao would be satiated were you to give him Aldenstead. Or, if you're speaking for Aldenstead, you can make a deal on their behalf, but you would have to deal with the Tao. So, my proposal is this. Deal with Aldenstead or deal with the Tao. One must die for the other to survive. I feel like I've heard that somewhere, but it's not important right now. If you side with the Tao and destroy Aldenstead, he will take its people, he will reclaim its mines, and he will hold that land for himself as an independent power. If you stand against the Tao, Aldenstead will be your responsibility, Vala. If you speak for them here, I will hold you accountable for their actions. If they don't agree to your accord of just, yes, we live in balance with the land.
How long would I have?
I mean, if you want to give Aldenstead to the Tao, that's, you'll likely just have to leave it for another fortnight or so. They, have already found themselves in trouble with them. I tried to stop them for the whole 5-day thing, but they slowed down what they were doing, but still kind of entrenched around the settlement. I trust your word. You said you would gather the leaders here within 5 days, which I thought was a bit of a stretch. And not only did you manage to gather the leaders, you seem to have become half of them somehow. So you do seem to go above and beyond for your word. I'd watch out, you. And he points at Ladderlie, because she seems to be collecting titles. Ladderlie looks and goes, I've been interested in that myself, but I'm not too worried. Raven speaks for her. I trust her if he does. If you say so, he nudges Mythalai. It's less of a chance than I'd be willing to take. But if you accept the responsibility, then the responsibility is yours. And he offers a hand, and weirdly, you're sitting across from a long table. You've seen him change his proportions, but it always seem natural. His whole arm extends down the table for you to grab it, to shake his hand. Yes.
To make which deal?
To accept
I'm confused.
responsibility.
Okay.
Either or. That's the deal laid out is the Dow or Aldenstead will remain standing. One has to be dealt with. If it's Aldenstead, they are your responsibility. If the Dow, he is an independent entity that can act freely as kind of like its own
Then he can-
country
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Before I make any deal, I'd like to understand the situation that I'm getting this both civilizations into. Mythali, right? Mythali?
yes.
Okay,
What?
Mythali.
I'm still a little mad that I didn't get to kill Renault.
Oh? If you would like to see him, you're more than welcome. But you're tied to the Dao in his service. What happens to you and all your followers if he's gone?
And we have no one we're in service to. We get to exist in harmony with the land. The bastard Renault is dead. I realize we can't return to any of the settlements. But we being able to exist in peace is fine by me. I never foresaw this becoming a possibility. And I haven't been given specific orders to stand against you. So if you're going off to talk to the Tao or help the Tao, either way, mine that aren't already involved will stay out of it. Those that went with him, you'll have to deal with there.
You leading a large portion of this continent. How do you feel about it?
I came here to escape the horrid life I had back on Thurman. If I can finally have some peace, I'll be happy. A lot of mine feel that way. We'll keep to ourselves. We've created a community and we've been cast out too often from our own lives. Whatever you choose, we'll let you deal with it. You were true to your word with dealing with Renault.
How much of this will go back to the Tao of our conversation?
I have no way of contacting him directly unless he comes to me, and he's a little occupied. So... nothing? Technically, my pact for my magic is with him. And Archfade looks at her. We have a pact. Like, yes, you're my patron. You're how I can do my magic. She Eldritch blasts the ground. Yes, that's how I can do that. Yes. Oh, I don't like that at all. Pact broken. Pact broken. And she looks a little confused and tries to do the same thing, and nothing happens.
Oh shit.
And she just looks kind of stunned. The Tao does this on occasion. He has a little bit of grasp being able to speak on my behalf. Apparently, that's sort of magically binding, fuddy-wuddy stuff. I don't like that. Didn't like that at all. Don't do that. Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Dying.
You don't like that we're just witness to somebody casually having all of their magic taken away from them? Hey, any of you get your powers from a higher power? Keep that shit in mind, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks.
No,
Sure.
I don't like that.
Just-
Broken.
Just gone. All right, cool.
So I realize I'm just a grunt that stands in the back, but are we still having to rearrange Harlan's Landing, supply chain and Aldenstead's supply chain? I imagine all this, and I'll gesture to like all the cut down trees, isn't gonna fly, right?
Mrs. Ladderly leans forward and goes, I believe I have an answer to that. And she goes through and has a similar demonstration of the batteries
Battery.
before. And she describes that. And the father goes, does that regrow? He looks at one of the ents and he goes, does magic regrow? The ent just creaking, just gives a big shrug. Right, I guess if we find out down the road that that has long-lasting, like down the line implications, this will be another conversation. But it is pretty cool. Can I have one? He holds out his hand to Ladderly, who takes it, puts it into his hand. Yes. Cool. And he turns and throws it to one of the ents, who goes to get. We're gonna actually roll for this. That's a natural one who goes to catch it and it bounces off of his chest and like starts rolling and he goes to like pick it up and like swaths through the ground and bounces the gem and it's this giant ironwood end that is just kind of like fumbling through like a kid that drops a small ball is just chasing it. And he is carving like swaths through the dirt as his hands hit it trying to catch this little gem. It's pretty cool. So, this was much less difficult than I had imagined. No one's going to try to kill me. You going to try to... Nothing? Nothing?
No. As I said, we're here to live in peace with you.
I even brought this. And he reaches out and, like, materializing in his hand is a titanic greatsword. Like, 12 feet long, like kind of like still narrow but just massive. It has gems inlaid in all the edges. I never get to use this.
Ooh.
I mean, you do have a creation you could help us use that on.
You are right. And he lifts it and just cuts the table in half in front of him. Because breaking stuff feels good. And he just dispels the sword and it vanishes.
Glad I could be of help.
Right. It does feel good destroying my creations. Right, so you're going to deal with the Tao. I have nothing left to do with my day. He goes, shit. And he goes and he picks up the cask and the goblets that were brought. He's, I have a giant to see about some mead. Have fun. And he just goes and runs towards the giant's
whole
rest.
cask?
No, he goes towards the giant's rest.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Carrying the cask. And he goes inside, the door shuts behind him. The two ironwood ends, one of them finally like cupping this tiny gem in his massive hands, goes back to his spot guarding the door and he looks at the other one and the other one just gives him the long, creaky shrug. And with that, we're going to end it for the night.
Wow.
Did not go how I thought it would. At all.
Nope.
Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah.
Thanks for the hole in my chest.
Cool.
hey, I took care of you. You fine. You fine.
It's an easy price to pay for not fighting 2 Ents and a demigod, I feel like.
For you,
Yeah,
Um,
pay it again.
yeah. So I suppose next time, depending on what you guys want to do, either way, the next big action is, unless y'all say just fuck it and take off, dealing with the siege of Aldenstead. Whichever way you decide to go about doing that, which I think brings us to our big news. We are going to be doing a recap. We're going to be going back, talking about the story so far, everything that brings us to this, do a little bit of a talk back, talking about that. It's going to be really exciting. So the reason we're doing that, though, I'm kidding. We are going to be resuming our live play. Like, we're going to be back on Twitch. So we'll be playing on Twitch Sundays at 6
6 p.m.
silent
Central
moment.
Depends on where you're at. Where
6
do you
p.m.
live?
Eastern time.
No, Central Time. 6 p.m.
No,
Central.
Central. 6 p.m. Central time. We're gonna
Depends
in
on
post. We're in post. We're gonna cut this whole bit out, and just Mike's gonna talk. Insert correct information here. Put a banner or something. 6 p.m. Eastern time.
oh,
We're gonna be resuming our live performance.
not Eastern.
What Central? Look,
6 p.m. Central, 5 Mountain,
7 Eastern.
7
4 Pacific.
Eastern.
From my work, I'm used to giving everything in Eastern time. 6 p.m. Central, officially.
There we go.
Good job. Good
I
job.
was
With a little-
I was joking about doing that in post, but we should probably just delete this whole bit and replace it like correct
It's a
information.
long beep
No,
as
no,
it just
no.
has
Little bit of
banner
leeway.
floating at the bottom.
Again, if you get us to 100 subscribers, this shit won't happen.
Yeah.
I don't have.
I will say-
Please, we need a script so bad.
Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding?
100 followers on Twitch, or 100 followers on YouTube, or 50 and 50, or 25 and 70. Any combination of 100 people that subscribe in some form to our content.
95. That one.
Really, we only need 50 and just them to subscribe to both.
Yeah.
We play
Yeah.
math games.
That would work as well, as long as there's a total of 100 people, 100 little hearts hitting. Fuck me, it's been a long night. This is why we need the script so bad. Again,
Help us out, guys.
okay, really quick, reset. Mike's gonna cut the last 5 minutes. 6 p.m. Central on Sundays. We're resuming our live Twitch stream.
Good luck chopping
We
this
can't do
shit
that
up,
when we
Mike.
go
Good luck.
live.
Good luck.
Not only is
Can't
it a
chop
3-hour
this when we're live,
episode,
man.
fucking 3-hour episode, and I gotta chop shit. Okay.
Nah.
Like,
Alright.
subscribe, buy our merch.
We love you so much. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.